Hello everybody, and welcome to a new Let's Play. This is Sparks, and we are on the Game Mode 4 server, the new Game Mode 4D server, the Game Mode 4 Dimensions server, and we have just made it through the tutorial world, which is a starting area where new players join. I'm on an alt account right now, just so I'll explain later why, but we are in the spawn town, the central area. This is where you join when you create your first travelling item, the mandala, and people have been setting up shop here. There's statues and players. Hello, buddy. How you doing? He's completely ignoring me. So yeah, this is going to be a Let's Play on this server. For those of you who don't know, I created this server with the help of many other people, and it is a new take on a vanilla survival gameplay server in which you can travel through different dimensions. So, I think in this Let's Play, it's going to be a combination of me sort of building and doing, you know, Let's Play-y stuff. There might be a little bit of dev commentary. You know, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but this is a good opportunity for me to talk a little bit about some of the things you see in this world. A little bit of a showcase, talking about some of the things other people have built, and also just a little bit of collaboration and stuff, because there's other YouTubers on here making series, and I think it'll be fun to do things with them. So, let's get started. So I'm just going to go a little way away from the spawn area over here, where there's a nice forest, so I can get some resources, and I'm not too far from the central town, and we will set ourselves up a little bit of a base. So while I'm chopping down some trees to get a few resources here, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here, why I have an alt account, for example. So I'm using a secondary account mostly because this is not an opt account, so I don't have any sort of hidden settings that I can see or use, so I'm not sort of getting confused between my vanilla Let's Play and my moderating on the server. It also means that I don't have any of the world travel links unlocked yet. I have to discover them again using this account. This means that you guys won't see anything that isn't common knowledge to the community yet, which I think is probably for the best. I will only be playing as far as other players have gone, if that makes sense. And the other reason I'm using an alt account is because people will bother me slightly less when I'm recording. It doesn't mean that players won't work out who my alt account is, and that's fine, but it means that if you see this account online and not the Sparks account, you know I'm probably busy and not able to really help at the moment, since I do come on here to moderate as well and to help people out if they have problems. So you know what, I started this series because I was really partly I just wanted to kind of showcase things and be a little bit more active as a player on this server. It's a great opportunity to be able to play test things and see things a bit more from a player's perspective, which will hopefully allow me to balance things over time to make it more fun for people to play. It's also because I wanted to be able to help showcase things that the community are doing, and also I kind of miss doing a Let's Play. I've used to do Let's Plays, and I just haven't lately. I think due to time constraints, I think I lost a bit of interest in the game, but I feel like this is enough of a not vanilla experience to keep me entertained really for a while. It's kind of nice to sort of test things out. So it's kind of nice because I don't really have a series on the channel where I can just sort of chat and talk about things. So I feel like it's going to be nice to be able to have that back in a way. Okay, it may shock some of you to realize this, but I'm not really a particularly good builder. But I've set up a little starter home here. It's nice, it does the job. I've got a little trail of grass to lead the grass up here because I don't have silk touch yet. And I think we're pretty much ready to go on our first adventure. We've got a nice little base to settle down with anyway. So the thing about this server is there are multiple dimensions that you can travel through, and resources are spread across those dimensions. So we use the mandala, the traveling item that we have here. Yes, I'm aware my skin is the mandala. I need to change that on this alt account. This is a traveling item, and there are certain conditions to using it to travel once you've left the tutorial world. So, for example, in this case, we need to be below, I believe, about Y40 in order to use this. I think it's possibly a little higher than Y40 before we can actually travel to our first dimension. I don't have any kind of iron tools yet, and that's because there is no iron available in the overworld. You have to travel to your first cave world in order to be able to mine materials to make iron, or to be able to mine iron. It's the first place you can get it. So we're just going to dig down here. It's not very far, and when we have that, we'll have a nice little tunnel. There we go. So we've got the advancement, the going down advancement. You can see that we have discovered this link, and if you press L or open your advancements tab, you can see first of all we've got the Game Mode 4 tab here with a list of advancements. This was made by Special Builder, and I believe will eventually be available just as a public thing. So this has lots of different advancements from different Game Mode 4 modules all installed as this big tree, and as you unlock, for example, this one, it'll open up more, or maybe this one here will open up new chains. So you can see the only one I've gotten so far is Ender Aid. But what we're interested in here is the travel log. So this represents the dimension I'm currently in, and this is the dimensions that I have unlocked from this dimension. So in this case, we have only unlocked the iron ore icon dimension. And you can also see that we're down at bedrock level here. In fact, it looks like the bedrock when this terrain generated opened up to a cave. So you can see it's just flat bedrock here. There's no caves at all, and that's because we have a new dimension just for caves. So we've made it down here. Let's put some ladders in so we can get back up. And I want to be... oh. Okay. I want to be a little prepared before we go over there, so I'm going to make some more ladders. We can't make a bucket yet. A bucket would be very handy for the next place we go, but we should be able to get some iron and then come back. Alright, so here we are down at the bottom of the world, and if I take up my mandala, you can see there's a particle here with a right-click to travel message. So I'm going to right-click here, and it's going to take us through to the next dimension. Alright, and here we are. We are in Upper Caves. We're near the top, and you can see there's a resource pack that's applied, which makes this really nice kind of washed out kind of feel to everything. The inventory's all dulled down and pale, and a lot of the natural blocks are kind of really greyed out, which looks really cool. So you can see that this is our travel link back to the overworld. If we click this, it would take us back to where we want to go. And interestingly, there's some torches up here, so I guess somebody else has travelled from a similar location before. We're going to head on down to the bottom there because we need to get some iron. I'm not sure, I don't think any of these vines actually reach all the way down, but I think we can survive a fall from, say, this set of vines here. Oh, this is a lot higher up than I thought it was. I think we can survive that. I hope we can survive that. It's too late to do anything now. You can see that as we've come lower down, we no longer have the ability to travel back up. It's because we're too deep. Okay, I'm going to try placing a ladder as I land, and maybe if I land on the ladder, we'll get really lucky. I did it! Oh my god, did you see that? No fall damage! No way! I did not think that was going to be possible. We do, of course, have a few mobs to deal with here, but it shouldn't be too much of a trouble for pros like us. I actually haven't really played much Minecraft since the 1.9 update, which means that I'm not used to the new battle mechanics. I don't even know how to make a shield. Where's the crafting menu for shield? Can I search for shield? How do I make a shield? I don't think I've got all the materials yet required to make a shield. Alright, we'll just skip that and find some iron. Aha! My first piece. Oh yeah. As soon as we can make a bucket, I'm going to feel a bit more comfortable. Okay, I've run into a skeleton and I'm at a one-hit kill, so I think I'm going to have to retreat because I'm out of food. So I'm going to have to head back now and make the most of this first foray if I can find my way back, because I'm pretty close to death and no way to really regenerate my health at this time. Where did I come from? This way. I hear skeletons! I'm heading to this water stream. I think it'll be a good way up. Unless that witch gets me. She's not tracking me yet. Maybe I can sneak up here. Okay, good. We found the return travel point. I don't know quite where we are in relation to where we started, so I don't know where in the overworld we're going to end up, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, I would assume we're somewhere near our house. I don't think we wandered too far. Yeah, I see our house. It's just over here. Right, I may need to try and find a source of food because I am quite low. We did get some iron though. We've got 24, which means we have a little bit more mobility next time we go, and we can make ourselves some, oh yeah, armor to stay safe. You can't right click when you're holding the mandala in your hand. Alright, let's see what we've got to eat. We have rotten flesh and a seed. Alright. So hungry. That probably wasn't worth it. Oh, that grass pathway is really making progress. This is going to be way larger than we need, and in fact I'm going to show you a little trick for getting started faster on this server in just a moment. So we currently have no bones and no way to make this grow any faster, so we're just gonna have to wait because I am not in any sort of healthy state to fight a skeleton. Well, I died. I went out to check on my crops and a skeleton shot me. So yeah, first death. However, we seem to be doing okay aside from that. I've got some crops grown, and since it's night out, we might just stay in here. I've got the iron from before. I'm going to make a little bit more bread using the wheat that I gathered, and we will use that to get to the place that I actually want to go today, which is going to give us all of our food supplies. Delicious, delicious bread. Do I have to eat another piece to regain health? Right, there's that spider there. But what else? Scared of getting shot again. I just want to grab the water from out here before we go. You gonna come after me, spider? Yes? No? Maybe? Yep, there you go. Where is he? I'm just not interested. I'm just gonna grab this water. Or should I get some more water? Well, my crops are gonna die. I'm gonna dig these up. Oh. Grab this. And then we're gonna go. Alright, here we go. So we're going to head back down to the cave dimension now, using the mandala. From the same spot as before, so we should end up in the same spot as before. Fantastic. And now, rather than heading down there, we're just going to quickly make a little bit thing here. Put down a torch, and we're going to visit another dimension. Now, this one doesn't have a height restriction on it. Instead, all it requires is for you to plant some seeds and stand in them. You can see I've now unlocked the Life Finds a Way advancement. If we look at my advancement list on the travel log now, you can see there are 2 dimensions available to me. I can now travel to this new dimension any time. So this is back to the overworld where we came from. But over here we have the bright green particles. If we click on this, we will be taken to another dimension. This dimension is called, well, I mean, it's up to players what they want to call it. I think people are calling it lush, which I think is nice. There's a lot of interesting properties about this dimension, a lot of interesting behaviors. You do get crops naturally spawning like this around water. So we're going to use this as a sort of quick start for our food supply, so we can get beetroots, although they are kind of worthless. Again, resource pack here done by Duck Jr. and absolutely beautiful. These spawn absolutely everywhere, and they spawn naturally as well, so I don't feel bad about stealing it off any players. You can see people were trying to find out whether there were any sort of height limitations on this dimension that lead to a new dimension. Turns out there isn't. There's a lot of properties about this dimension that I would love to talk to you about, but I can't yet. There's some pretty cool things though, so definitely have a play around and explore. People have just discovered, so I can tell you this because I just saw it in the Discord, that wooden items like planks and wooden slabs and stairs actually rot over time. So you cannot build with certain blocks in here, but I think a lot of the other things about this dimension have not been really explored yet by players. So I'm going to try and find a more open space here for us to get to, because it is very densely packed in some areas. We'll have a look at some of the other things you can find here, which we're going to use to shortcut our food problem. Here we go. We found a small plains area. You can see there's an abundance of flowers and vines everywhere. Got a chicken over here. I'll grab that. Delicious. And we should see, I think this plains might be a bit too small to find them, but there are some custom structures that spawn here as well. Ooh, an Enderman. Let's see if we can get ourselves... I think he's gone. Chickens are very good at evading attack in this dimension because they're one block high and things keep getting in the way of your axe. We have a swamp dimension over here. Oh my. What's that? Jump boost? Not quite sure what that effect was. You can see another feature of this dimension here. We've got the lily pads, again with beautiful variants in their texture by Duck, which I think looks really cool. And we have a swamp over here, which is the least brightly coloured dimension by biome by far in this dimension. In fact, I'm sort of tempted to suggest we touch up the colour scheme for this dimension at some point for this biome. Taking a risk! Risk did not pay off! Oh, look at those little tendrils coming off the flowers. That's awesome. I didn't even notice that. Grabbing more of this naturally spawning wheat as we pass it. Good seeds and food, really, for our use. I mean, honestly, they are so abundant. These all just, they generally spawn in the low points of the land near water. Looks amazing though, doesn't it? I really like this dimension. It's very pretty. Building in it can be a little tricky because of wooden blocks rotting away over time, and some of the other mechanics that I've not had anybody specifically mention, so I'm not going to say yet. It was really fun developing this this dimension though. A lot of thought went into it. It was one of the ones that we came up with first. Actually, it was quite an early one in the ideas list, and we wanted to make it a beneficial place for people to get food. So something you'll find with GM4D that we've tried to do is we've tried to make sure that every dimension has a purpose. With the exception of the tutorial world, it's designed so that hopefully players will feel the need to come back, or that there's some things that are either best done or only possible to do in certain dimensions. So here's one of the custom structures. It has been raided slightly, but you can see there's all these hay blocks, hay bales, which obviously are a nice supply of wheat and bread for get people started out, surrounded by sort of a pile of crops. The fire over here, by the way, one thing we decided to do after the server opened is to turn fire tick off, because the foliage is so thick that fires just burn like huge swathes of land. So fire tick is turned off. Any fires like this, you can just put them out. They won't come back, but they also won't go out by themselves. So you can tidy this up if you want, but fire does not spread in this dimension. It does, however, still set you on fire. Ouch. And here we have one of the other custom structures you can find in this dimension. I can't remember off the top of my head who designed these. I'll probably put that as a edit in the video, but they're very, very cool looking little sort of people, sort of sentinels that stand in the shallow water around swamps and watch the world. Somebody's put a sign on it. Claimed by GFD, of course, the Global Farming Department, one of the more active or larger sort of groups on the server. They had all these plans to automate on the new server. They had everything laid out. However, they were not aware that the new server was going to have multiple dimensions, and as a result, their plans were thrown into turmoil a little bit. But I feel like the layout that the server has is going to offer them the ability to adapt and actually do some pretty cool things. So hopefully we'll see some pretty interesting things from them. There's definitely new mechanics to play with in terms of automation and farming. So I both dread to see and look forward to see how they break and use the various elements of the server. I'm going to head back to my house now because I've got some food sorted. I can actually return at any time to the cave dimension by going back down to the bedrock level of the world. And as the sun is about to set in this dimension, I think I'm going to head back. Alright, we've now unlocked the going down advancement by going down to bedrock in this world. Even the caves here have vines in them. It looks pretty neat. And we should be able to see our travel particles somewhere near us. There we go. I love how the loading screens have different textures as well. Home sweet home. Well, we're going to wrap this up. If I haven't really made it clear so far, this is a public server. You are more than welcome to come along and join in by joining play.gamemode4d.com into your Minecraft client and come and have a play and have some fun and experience the dimensions for yourself. Let me know what you thought of this episode and let me know what sort of things you'd like to see in the next one. And I will see you then. Bye bye.